Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and I hope everybody's having a great day today. I know it is a Monday, I know it sucks, but hey, it is what it is. Let's have a great day nonetheless, but overall today we're going to be talking about Xinfin, aka XDC. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask if you guys could all please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. Also, if you guys do find any information in this video valuable, maybe it's something that you learned, who knows, definitely consider subscribing and turning notifications on as well, because I do greatly appreciate that as well. Now, overall, in terms of XDC, I have been focused more so on things being built on XDC. For example, XSwap. We've definitely been taking a look at Globians and stuff like that. I think that there's a lot of significant things to really kind of watch for. But overall, in terms of prices, we have had this strong bounce off of the January 8th price zone of almost 8 cents. But it hasn't been too strong. I would like to have us back above like 10 cents overall. But of course, I do think it's going to take a little bit of time to get there. Trading volume is still down, which is pretty much typical, especially considering the fact that right now there is not a lot of individuals buying. They want the nice impulse on Bitcoin before they do throw their money in. There is always going to be traders, but for the most part, we want a lot more volume to flow into pretty much XDC in general. But I am playing a little bit of some caution to the market overall. Because I believe that with the indices opening today, we could see a little bit more bleed throughout the entire market. Specifically, I definitely am watching Bitcoin closely. We know that Bitcoin just pretty much bounced off of about $41,000 exact. So we are having this little bit of a nice crashing pattern. So definitely watch Bitcoin closely today for anybody who is looking to get into XDC. Maybe they're looking to long an altcoin or so. Watch Bitcoin closely today and watch those major indices. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about some exciting things being built on Xinfin and pretty much some updates within the Xinfin community in general. And we actually do see here that step-by-step action Andre Casterman has been talking about turns into major steps forward. And when we're talking about this, right, XDC was chosen by the TFD initiative for a reason recently. Accelerated Payments and Virgin Money teamed up. Speculation they're probably running on the XDC network. And we do see here the collaboration between Xinfin, TradeTech, and Accelerated Payments completes the chain from investor right through to the recipient of funding with complete transparency, accountability, and liquidity. Paves the way to providing access to much wider range of funders and beneficiaries, providing a platform that can truly scale globally. Now, overall, I think that this is huge, and of course, here's that article for it. We also see here the Accelerated Payments and Virgin Money news is out. Speculation that involves TradeTech and XDC and will facilitate HSBC, ING, SMBC, AB, and AMRO, etc. coming aboard. I figured Channel Capital was involved. Consider looking at their partners again. I mean, listen, this is huge in terms of the amount of money. Like, I just don't see XDC being at this market, cap and this price for a very long time. I think that XDC is truly a massive opportunity in this market. I want you to all pay attention to XDC if you guys haven't already. I know that a lot of the other ISO 222 tokens get a lot of the spotlight. I've always said this, but focus on XDC. They are focusing on the institutional investors. Pay attention to what they are focusing on in general, okay? And of course, we do see here Channel Capital's funds, Accelerated Payments. They have an interest in working capital solutions and funding for SMEs. Their other partners could benefit from working with Xinfin. Remember, TradeTech and Xinfin recently conducted the world's first trade finance-based NFT transaction. I'm telling you guys, all of these puzzle pieces are lying perfectly together and really giving us the main picture here. And of course, Virgin Money, meet the family. Clydesdale Bank, Yorkshire Bank, and of course, Virgin Money. And when we come over to this image here, we do see here the M account for business, unlock free digital banking, cashback discounts, smart tools, and easy switching. We do see here the Virgin Money family now collaborating with Accelerated Payments and the M account for business info, as mentioned in the previous tweet. I'm betting this involves TradeTech and XDC network. Long story short, the TFD initiative TradeTech Xinfin relationship cannot be underestimated. This accelerated payments and Virgin Money news is big. Institutional money on XDC network in 2022. And some noob too. I hope this tweet finds you well. Now, in general, with a lot of the money that will be flowing over these major networks, aka Xinfin in general, is going to be absolutely massive. But I want you guys to also pay attention to Andre Casterman, because this guy is huge as an individual who has direct connections to major other, I mean, we're talking about huge companies. I mean, we're talking about Swift in general, right? But overall, you know, when we're talking about his overall resume, okay, don't just be, excited about the fact that he was working with, Swift. Look at all of his other direct connections here as well. I mean, first off, we see Chief Marketing Officer at Intex, which, of course, when we're talking about this is actually also a fairly large company in general. We see, of course, TradeTech, Anigio. We also see Mitigram, Xinfin, of course, freelance, advisory and market engagement, 1 year, 9 months, which we know that he loves Xinfin. He's always talking about it. I mean, listen. When we're talking about the International Trade and Forfeiting Association, this is huge as well. We know that they have direct connections to many of the partnerships that we have seen recently, but this guy's resume alone should make you extremely bullish. I mean, he was working at Swift. I mean, come on. This is huge. And of course, he's been working with Swift for a fairly long time. I mean, this goes back to literally October 1991 to 1994. This spans 24 years that he was working at Swift. And now, all of a sudden, he's working with Xinfin. I mean, come on. Connect the dots and understand how huge Xinfin is going to be. And of course, here's a post from his LinkedIn. Collaboration at its best. How our strategic trade finance market initiatives put it to work. And of course, there's Xinfin, XDC, perfectly placed between these major other giants, including accelerated payments, Finastra, which we know Finastra is huge, and of course TradeTech. Now, a total of 200 plus ITFA members flocked to Bristol on Wednesday, October 6th, to attend the ITFA annual conference. Best part about this is, guess who's mentioned a ton in this? You've guessed it, XDC. XDC is pretty much the big target point here because we know with what they are doing, they're really kind of, innovating the entire trade finance area. And we do see here, the TFD initiative provides a technology stack comprising a set of technology providers such as TradeTech and XDC Network. Additional providers can provide further technology options such as Intix and Corelius Technologies. And of course, when we look down here, we see XDC mentioned yet again. When we're talking about and accelerated payments demonstrated how TFD initiative technology stack, including XDC network since August 2021, enables to bring new types of investors by tokenizing trade portfolios, whole trade portfolios. There is a massive opportunity to bridge the trade finance banking market with the asset management space and also with the retail space. So they know how big of a use case this also is. And we do see here the first live tokenization transaction took place in September involving both TradeTech and, of course, XDC. It aimed at enabling accelerated payments, acting as originator to extend liquidity to its own clients. This is going, I mean, listen, I don't even need to read more of this. I just know, right, with all of the direct connections that XDC has with, Andre Casterman. I always, say Andre. I don't know why. But Andre Casterman alone should give you guys the insight on how bullish you should be. Even see your technology will help the UK boost SMEs overseas trade thanks to digital negotiable instruments. And of course, DLT is being mentioned here. And which DLT do you think, which major asset do you think is being mentioned overall? That's right, XDC. XDC, from all of these pictures here, we come down here and we see XDC is being mentioned as the founder of Xinfin Network, we welcome the digitization of the negotiable instruments as promoted by ancestral model law. By tokenizing digital payment obligations, the Xinfin Network brings the needed institutional and retail liquidity that SMEs depend on. We will demonstrate this soon, which is why we recently joined the ITFA and the DNI initiative. So, listen, they are perfectly positioning themselves in a perfect scene. They know exactly what they are focusing on. And of course, this has direct connections to many of its already partnerships, like ADGM, for example. We're also looking at the G7, the United Kingdom. We look at ICC, International Chamber of Commerce. I mean, these are huge names. And I seriously think that XDC already has all of them under its belt. I think that XDC is such a massive giant. I think that we are going to see a huge spark in the price for XDC. We do see XDC Xinfin Trade Finex, International Trade and Settlement Platform. Look at how huge this is. Literally a link to almost everything. Banks, fintech, underwriters, insurance, credit agencies. All of it focused around tokenization, regulated digital custodian as well. And of course, here's that massive graph. ISO 222 interoperability with standard and legacy systems. Of course, Swift and all that stuff. Utility. Talking about all the utility on, of course, Xinfin. I mean, this is such a massive ecosystem. Xinfin is truly a massive asset. I'm telling you. I truly do believe that this is probably one of the most undervalued gems, even at $1 billion in market cap. Of course, when we're talking about XDC at its true value, I really want to know where you guys foresee XDC really being in terms of price per XDC. What do you guys think a fair price per XDC is? I've told you guys about the $1 trillion in markets that it's disrupting already. I've told you guys about the technology behind this, the sheer connections that it has with massive, massive companies. It's huge. This is a huge network. Trust me, somebody that was working at Swift for literally 24 years is not going to join, a network that, yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of a success. He's joining this because he knows where this is going. Helping alternative lenders take advantage of tokenization and digital assets through the Xinfin hybrid blockchain network. We know that tokenization is going to be $24 trillion by 2027. We know that Xinfin is disrupting a $19 trillion trade finance market. And we know that they're positioning themselves in a $15 trillion market as well with AIX. So we're talking all the way, that's $34 trillion just by those two alone. And then you take into accountability tokenization, okay? You're looking at $58 trillion in general that XDC is going to have a piece of the pie. So think about how massive XDC will be at scale once we're in a massive utility-driven market. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.